another episode of the Lone Recruiter Podcast. I'm your host, Brett Clemenson, and if you're a recruiter out on your own or just lacking general advice or mentorship, you've come to the right place. Our episodes are designed to give you the motivation, the strategies, and the support you need to become the very best lone recruiter. So join us, grab a cup of coffee, and let's take your desk to another level. Now, today's episode is about leveraging your time. You may have heard of this concept before, but it is just such a magical concept when you really wrap your head around it. Let me ask you this. You're a recruiter or in sales. How many days of the week, let's just say 5 days of working, Monday to Friday, how many days per week do you get to the end of the day and go, there is just not enough time in my day to get done what I want to get done? Hands? I reckon 4 out of 5 days feels like that. Your to-do list is never ending. You get a task done and ticked off, and it creates 5 or 6 more items for you to get done. It just feels like a never-ending to-do list. And so time then becomes our greatest commodity, and how do we get more of it? So this concept of leveraging your time was taught to me at such an early age, and it is such a brilliant concept. So let me give you some life examples of leveraging your time, and then I'm going to apply it to the desk, and you're going to see, okay, there's some good opportunities here to pull extra hours out of the day for free of charge, okay? So a good example is this, going to the gym, right? You go to the gym, you're going to dedicate at least an hour to working out. So that is getting your body fit, it is getting your heart rate up, it's pumping your muscles, whatever it is that you decide to do at the gym, stretching, core work, whatever. Now, that's very good for your body. I've always looked at the gym as that's an opportunity to double up that use of time. So we do the workout for the body, but what can we do to nourish the mind? So I actually used to always listen to motivational podcasts when I was at the gym. But you could listen to this podcast. You could listen to an audio book. You could listen to basically what you're listening to doesn't have to be music. It can be a learning opportunity. So that's one example of leveraging your time. I haven't got time to go to the gym. I haven't got time to read. Well, you can actually do both at once. Now, all of a sudden, you're going to need half the amount of time to do both those activities. Another one is like driving. Driving to get from A to B without any music, without any sort of stimulus, without anything done. It's just for the sake of driving is an absolute waste of your time. It gets you from A to B and you have to do it, but it should be more than that. Driving is, for me, it's not just that. I line up my phone calls. I always get a Post-it note, stick it on my dash, make sure the number's in my phone, and I've got 6-7 calls that I can get through in that drive. Or you can even book meetings, like have phone meeting. I'll be in the car, let's have a phone meeting. I will never get in a car to go from A to B for work, not having phone calls lined up to make. Again, great place for podcasts, great place to do some affirmations or visualization. Obviously, keep your eyes open, but you get the point. Just driving to get to A to B, not good enough. You need to be layering that with other things. And another one is making dinner. You know, you could make dinner tonight. You could make dinner tomorrow night. You could make dinner the next night. You know, leveraging your time would be, I'm going to make dinner tonight and I'm going to double the size of it. I'm going to make it for tonight and tomorrow, and I'm going to freeze some. And that would be you saying, I don't need to do cooking for a whole hour tomorrow. You've just found another hour. So you get my point. It's taking a task that would normally take a set amount of time and layering another one over the top of it. And it's not hard to do. So what I wanted to do in today's episode is, where can we apply this to a recruiter's desk? Okay, because you've probably thought of some, you might not have thought of others, but this is super practical. So whenever you're doing this task at your desk, you can think, shit, could I be doing an extra layer to this at the same time to maximize the use of this time? So, one, we've talked about the commute. You know, calls, listening to podcasts, audiobooks, and the big one is meetings. People don't think you can have a meeting in a car. You can have some of your best meetings in the car. It's like when you take a stroll and you're on the phone having those meetings, your brain's kind of able to wander a little bit. You're not distracted by your phone. You're not distracted by your laptop. You can actually engage in that conversation. Canvassing. Where can you apply this to canvassing a candidate? Well, if you work in an office, the first thing I would say is I'd ask around, hey, I'm about to do a canvass for these clients. Does anyone else have anyone that they want me to canvass for them? So you can actually do 2 canvases in one. Or do you have another candidate that you can piggyback on the back of that canvas? Oh, yes, I've actually got another one in the pipeline. Let me just get their profile up. Maybe it's confidential, but I can get 2 people out at once. How can you take an activity and do it for more than one person. For, canvas one person, canvas two people, canvas five people at once. That's where you need to think with canvassing. Training, right? This is where I learnt it. So we had this thing called, we had a manager's course internally when I had my first gig, and it was the best way to train someone is to not give up your time to do it. Okay, so how do you train them? They said, well, just whenever you are doing any part of the job you think they need training on, you get them in and you say, quickly, this is what I'm about to do. I'm about to do a closing call. This is how I'm going to navigate it. Just have a listen. And then you go and do the task. So you're actually still just doing your day-to-day job, and you now have this individual in your office listening to you, and they're getting the benefit of it. You're still getting through your work, and you've actually multiplied the use of your time by 2, right? So training someone whilst you're doing the task is a massive leverage opportunity. Now the lunch break. I am a huge advocate for just going straight through lunch. I get a bite to eat and I have a little moment to walk. I only need 5-10 minutes. I don't need a full hour. Everyone's different, each to their own. But the reason I say that is because I try to knock off early. So I view that as an hour of, why would I waste an hour when that's just going to be tacked on to the end in terms of work I need to get done. So I either like to work through, but if I'm feeling a bit vague and burnt out and I need to get a bit of me time, then really a lunch break is about re-energizing yourself, right? So just eating food's actually going to make you more sleepy. So if you're eating food, make sure it's quality food, make sure that it's high protein, make sure it's low carb, make sure it's not alcoholic, because that stuff's going to actually ruin the back end of your day. But in terms of a lunch break, if you're feeling like you need to recharge, well, go and get your food, go and get your hydration, go for a little stroll. But what else can you do? Is this a time where you go, you know what, I'm going to quickly eat, then I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to quickly eat, then I'm going to get a massage. I'm going to quickly eat, and then I'm going to do some breathing exercises. But if you're going to allocate an hour for your lunch break, right, go and do something that's going to energize you and it's going to pick you up for the back end of the day or get you straight back into it. Don't do something that's going to drain your energy, because if you lie down for an hour, eat your lunch, sit in the sun, you're going to be sleepy. No one wants to go back to the desk after that. I'm sorry, but do yourself a favor. Do your desk a favor. Energize yourself over lunch. A big one that I see get done so wrong all the time is sequencing your searches. So what I mean by that, brief comes in, we all have a process and we all recruit the same, right? In slightly varying ways, but the reality is we all do headhunt calls, we all have our database, we all advertise, we all use LinkedIn. So for me, the sequence in which you do those activities is vital for leveraging your time. So what do I mean by that? When a job comes in, the first things you need to do is get that ad up straight away, get your LinkedIn searching done straight away, or emails out, straight away, because they are then out there doing work for you. And the third one is get your LinkedIn post up so that your network can see what you're working on. That can take half an hour to a few hours, depending on how you've set yourself up. But I would do those things first. Get them up, get those catch nets, looking at those audiences. So your ads are on Seek, they're on the other various websites that you have. That audience is seeing your ad there. Then you do your LinkedIn messages. That's a bit more targeted. That's over there. That's out there working for you. You got to let time do its thing for them to come back. And then you're posting as well, right? And then, and only then, do you start hitting the phones and doing headhunt calls. Someone's going to tell me the opposite and give me a good reason why. But my view is, if I'm going to be hitting the phone calls on one-on-one calls, trying to get my network to come and take this job, I want to know that there's also other bits and bobs out there with their catch nets up helping me as well. Because if I do the calls first and I haven't done the ads and I haven't done the LinkedIn emails and I haven't done my post, they're not working for me. It's just me and my phone. I've got one shot, hang up, another shot, hang up, another shot. Or I could be rapid firing. I could have multiple guns out, multiple nets out doing the hunting for me. So that's it. I'm sure I've missed a whole bunch, but leveraging your time is a concept, and it's not applicable just to this stuff. It's just a mindset. When you're doing a task, okay, think, how can I leverage this time right now? I have to put my energy to this. Is this the smartest use of my time? Can I layer it with something else? Can I be doing something simultaneously? Could I engage someone to help me simultaneously? Could I help someone else simultaneously? Just how do you level up? You will find that the better you get at this, the more time you find in your day, or the more things you can get done in a day, right? So I hope this helps someone. 10 minutes in, so we're done. Like, share, subscribe, helps us grow. Thank you. We're getting there. This is like episode 150 something. So we are smashing through the episodes, guys, and I am getting the messages. I am getting the love. I am getting the connection requests. So please, that makes my day. Thank you. Have an amazing day. As always, may all your deals come true.